WRESTLECADE. WRESTLECADE is coming up next week. Zeus, it's gonna be so sweet. You know it's mark out time. Live on a Saturday morning. We're gonna hype up TAYA-Cade and talk the news. Lots going on. Oh yeah, it's time for Mark Out Mania.
Nice, Pedro. Very nice.
Like
Very nice.
Thank
I
you.
should have put on my Stone shirt for that. That was nice.
Thank you very much. Hey, welcome everyone to the Mark Out Mania.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
We are 1 week away from WRESTLECADE.
Actually, it's called TAYA-Cade now, right,
Oh,
Zeus? Thank you,
sorry.
brother, for doing that.
yeah, I mean, is the fact that she was in the match of the night 2 years ago against Evil East, and then last year the match of the night again, defeating Penelope Ford in that just complete street fight, and now she's in the main event, the first time ever in the 8 or 9 year history of WRESTLECADE. It's the very first all women's main event, and so in honor of the last 3 years, I think it's definitely should be called TAYA-Cade.
I'm down with that. TAYA-Cade it is.
TAYA-Cade.
I'm going to buy a WRESTLECADE t-shirt, and then I'm just going to Sharpie Taya over Wrestle. There we go.
Yeah, now we need a special like TAYA-Cade t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. What would you
Yeah,
do? Just make our own shit up.
It's got to be TAYA-Cade from Winston Slamtown, North Carolina.
Winston Slamtown. I think Winston Slamtown got boomed once.
Because it's definitely Slamtown is in the house. Whenever it's WRESTLECADE time. We're definitely going to miss Johnny and PJ this year, but like I said, we got the first lady of Slamtown, so
Should be good.
It's all about Taya versus Rosemary versus Jordan Grace versus Tessa Blanchard.
Wow.
That's a hot match.
I mean, that is a crazy hot match.
That's a hot match.
For 2019, for anywhere that you can imagine. I mean, that's as exciting as it gets in women's wrestling.
You want all those girls to do good. It's because all of them are really good talent. I mean, they're all good wrestlers.
Absolutely.
especially Taya and Tessa.
Yes.
So
3-4.
Nothing to sneeze at. She's excellent. I saw her a couple of years ago live, and she did a great job with this other girl, and that was at Showcase of Champions too, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a good. I can't believe that main event. That's awesome. That's an awesome main event. It's going to be hot. I'm finally going to get to see George South in the ring. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna buy his water, so this way you'd be happy with me.
You're gonna buy the $3 bottle of George South water.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna drink that shit. I'm just gonna look at it. I'm just gonna keep
It might be $5 water at WrestleCade.
Oh, he's on crack now. He's on crack. So okay, he's like, take it easy there, big guy. But yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be fun. We're going to meet the great Muda. We're going to hang out with him a little bit. I'm going to hang with the Mac. I'm going to buy the Sandman a beer, and I'm going to bitch slap Enzo, and then I'm going to watch Zeus take down fucking Big Cass. So we're all good.
That's right, man.
I can't wait to see the footage of James and Enzo circling each other for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll play the part of Joey Janela.
No, Joey Janela. So,
No, I don't know. I'll bitch slap him too if I see him.
Welcome to the show, YYH.
Double Y, double H, what's going on? You made it. Yes, you did. Thanks for stopping by. Hola.
we got another last minute guest or two they've announced for WrestleCade. Bob Caudle.
Wow.
Yes, that's kind of hot.
Of World Championship Wrestling, NWA Worldwide, NWA
Worldwide,
Wrestling. Yeah. He was a real sportscaster who made the move to pro wrestling in the 70s, and he just always brought that great, just a great serious sports presentation type of feel to everything, and he would ask hard questions, even though Bob Caudle was never a big guy. He was a small man, and he was never scared to ask those tough questions.
Right.
And then another guest, the winner for the Brawl for It All, Butterbean is going to be.
Oh my stars and garters! What is this world coming to? Butterbean.
Can WrestleCade be any bigger?
It's huge, man. It's big, man. I'm actually digging it. Actually, know what I'm marking out for too? The Midnight Express.
Yes. We get Loverboy Dennis, Beautiful Bobby, and Sweet Stan are all going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny too. I was telling my my doctor yesterday when I was getting my physical about WrestleCade, and he was like, I said, name some old guys. And he's like, Sergeant Slaughter. I was like, he's going to be there. Yep. Iron Sheik, he's going to be there. He's like, yep. Kevin Sullivan. I'm like, he's going to be there. I'm like, you got to go.
The Iron Sheik is going to be there.
The Iron Sheik is going to be there.
Oh, he watch out! He might make you humble.
He might.
He'll curse out everybody. He'll curse out everybody. I love it.
He's a badass.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. I love the Iron Sheik. How do you not?
Right. Tony Atlas is going to be there, so we're going to have Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson are both going to be there.
Man,
Tony Atlas about losing the belt. Yeah, man. That's awesome, man. Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson. That's so cool. That's my childhood right there. That's my childhood right there.
Right.
I grew up watching them as tag team champions. Them always fighting the Samoans. Remember that? That's old school.
Oh yeah. I think they beat the Samoans for their title reign. I think.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
So,
Offensica. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I mean,
you got Brian Cade, Rhino, Shane Douglas. I mean, it's just
Shane Douglas,
your boy.
Yeah, that's my boy right there, Shane Douglas.
You got to give Sandman a beer.
Oh, that's Zeus. That's without question. Oh, absolutely. Because I owe one for about 20 years ago.
We'll get a can of beer and smuggle it in, so you can to Sandman.
Yeah, because
apologize. So
I know.
Not having a can of beer, a beer for him back in the day.
I'm like, that's from one gym to another. I'm sorry, my bad. Okay.
Hey, we got Tank Abbott and Butterbean. Maybe we can get them to have a throwdown.
Oh my God!
I'll pay $1.50 to see that. That's about it.
Also on the WrestleCade Super Show, Kaz Hayashi.
Whoa!
Yes. And with Sonny Ono.
With Sonny Ono against Shannon Moore.
That should be good.
That's good.
That should be good.
Formerly of 3 Count.
Yes.
No, that's not good.
Well, thankfully he doesn't. That's not his shtick anymore.
Yeah, thank God. Him and Evan Courageous.
Is he still doing like the punk thing?
Yeah. Yeah, him and his girl are both got that.
Where's Shannon Wonder Wrestling? I haven't seen him at all.
He believe it or not, he's been wrestling locally in North Carolina.
Really?
Yep.
Holy shit! I didn't even notice that. I didn't even know that at all.
But yeah. Then we got announced for AML the day after. Ethan Page against Blanco Loco.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see Blanco Loco is in a tag team called, I think it's called the International Superstars, and he's kind of got a luchador look to him, and so that'll be interesting. Colby Carino versus Billy Brash on the day after. That's going to be good.
I'm down with that. Yes, sir. Isn't C.W. Anderson actually defending the title?
Yes, on the day after, C.W. Anderson will defend against George South, provided he makes it out of WrestleCade with the title.
Right,
okay,
exactly.
Because he's defending on the Super Show. He's defending the title against Rhino.
Oh my God! Can you imagine a title switch? Yeah. To Rhino, just so George South could beat Rhino? That'd be awesome.
hey, and that's on top of the if C.W. Anderson gets out of Showcase of Champions with the title, because he's wrestling Ethan Page on Friday night.
Lots of wrestling, lots of in-ring action going on. Not lots next weekend.
When you're an AML champion, you pull all weekend duty.
Yeah, I see that.
And I tell you, the first year that I went in 2016, that was when they were still having wrestling during the fan meet and greet. They had a ring in the middle of everything.
That's a little suspect.
Yeah, that's a lot of wrestling, and and it's good. I'm glad they got rid of that, because it was just taking away from is building up a lot of heat in the room, and it was just it was just kind of taken away from. It's like you want to go.
It also has that carnival feel to it.
It did kind of, yeah. That's for sure. But that year, 2016. Zane Dawson was the AML champion, and he wrestled on Showcase of Champions. He wrestled during the Fan Fest, and he wrestled on WrestleCade, and then he wrestled the next day at the day after. So he wrestled 4 times in 3 days.
He was pulling a Ric Flair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Woo, it's gonna be good stuff. It's gonna be good stuff. Actually, who are you interested in seeing, Zeus?
Oh, geez, on Brett, who am I not interested in seeing?
I know.
That's the problem.
So many people.
That's the real problem. Is there's so many people gonna be there. Oh, Sam Houston's gonna be there.
Oh wow!
Look at that, Sam Houston.
That's awesome.
He's like, I mean, he was that babyface guy for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the day after, the Dawson brothers are going to defend against the Gymnasty Boys, White Mike and Timmy Lou Retton.
I am looking forward to seeing the Dawson brothers. I've been kind of marking out on them lately on NWA Power. I have.
Oh yeah, they're doing the thing, man.
I can see because I see a lot of people complaining about them, how they're slow and they're too old school, but I like it. It's like,
yeah,
I think that people just may not like their look, but I mean they're really not that slow.
I know they're not. That's the whole thing. I don't understand why people are like shitting on them.
I mean, they're big and heavy, but I mean, you talk about. I mean, if you put them against like the Headhunters, I mean, oh my gosh, they're a lot more mobile than those guys ever were.
Yeah. Those guys are fucking brutal.
Yeah, I mean, for a big heavy team that they are, I mean, they're quite good. They really are.
I like them, and I like the Dawson Brothers. Now I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, and then so since Vampiro canceled,
Thank God.
for whatever reasons he had to cancel.
I would have walked past him. I said, "Play my music, bitch."
so we're not getting the Vampiro Crazy Steve rematch that Vampiro spent 15 minutes promising after he lost to Crazy Steve in less than 3 minutes. So it's going to be Crazy Steve against Brian Cage at WrestleCade Super Show.
Okay.
So
I'm down with that. I'm down to see Cage. I haven't seen Cage before.
And then we still do not know who the Great Muda's opponent will be.
No, I don't want to. No, I don't want to take away from this because I'm excited about the Great Muda. Because he's another one that's part of my early childhood. Because him in the face paint, the old school WCW days. Like World Class and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't want to see that man get hurt.
I don't either.
If he does 2 chops to the chest and he sprays the mist, I'm happy. That's it. Don't do anything else. I'm happy.
I'm right there with you, buddy. I don't want to, but I mean, everybody gets old. I mean, we're old.
Yeah, all he has to do is spray the mist, and that's it. That's it. I'm marking out.
He's got to come out in an awesome outfit.
Yes, absolutely.
Come out in an awesome outfit. Play to the crowd. Miss the opponent. Miss the referee. Take it home.
There you go.
Because that's the great thing. Is as great as the Great Muda is, and is so thankful after 30 years, almost exactly 30 years, I get to see him again live.
This will be my first time. I'm so excited to see him.
And to be able to meet him, and it's so we're this era of wrestling, as many things as there are that a lot of us may or may not like about it, there are a lot of things to like. And the fact that, back in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, there weren't things like this really. I mean, it was you basically had to try, you had to hope somebody was in WWF to go to WrestleMania to meet somebody. It just wasn't done.
Right.
It was very few and far between, I mean, I got to meet some guys here and there, but, usually not when anybody was signed, even to WCW. I mean, when I met Nikita Koloff, he was in between, he was gone from the NWA at the time. So, it's amazing that we get this. It's amazing all the work that Tracy and all those guys at
they deserve a ton of credit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, all the stuff that they do is just all the work they do to put this back together, and it's just so glad. I'm so glad that that the fifth one wasn't the last one. That they've come back and they've continued to do it. So,
especially for guys like us of our age and our generation, this is like dream come trues and stuff like that. Yeah, because as you said, Zeus, they didn't have any of this stuff back then. I mean, like unless you went to a WrestleMania, and even then, for a lot of us, that was out of reach.
Yeah. I mean, they I think in 1990, one time they were doing little autograph sessions before some of the WCW matches, but like it would be like Big Josh and Tommy Ridge and Ricky Morton. Yeah, I mean, and so it's like you only ever got faces.
Yeah,
you only ever got the faces and never the huge superstars because I guess they didn't just weren't going to give that away.
And for guys like us, and for our generation, again, it's like Christmas, you know. I mean, because I mean, this is our childhood right here, you know.
Yeah, and I see some of these fans now, and it's like they're like, oh my gosh, I've been such a big fan of this guy for 2 whole years, and I'm gonna finally get to meet him. I'm like it's a great day to be alive, isn't it? I'm so glad you've been a fan for 2 years.
Hold on, 2 years? Yeah, okay. You go home and get your fucking shine box.
Yeah, but I mean, but they're young. But they're young and they just don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't live through it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like you know, God bless you. I'm you know, it's like I'm glad you get to meet you know, you get to meet your hero.
And then, well, I'm glad that they understand this type of wrestling too, you know.
Yeah, and
you know, like it's all because you know, like now it's all flash and substance, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like that old shit, but it's good, so that's good.
Yeah, and you know the style of AML, the style of you know the WrestleCade type of wrestling, it's you know it's more of that semi old school. You know, it's you know it's more of a you know it's still new school type wrestling, but it's not you know it's got a little something to it, which is nice. So you know, I'm pretty excited about. Gilbert gonna be in WrestleCade.
I love Gilbert. He was awesome.
I like that little guy that Jericho brought in at Fall Brawl 97 or 98. I think it was 98. And like everybody thought that, you know, it was when Jericho was you know, he kept going after Goldberg on the promos, and so Jericho came to the ring with Ralphus, and he called out Goldberg, and Goldberg's music started playing, dun dun, you know, sparks flying everywhere, and this little dude, he's like 5 foot tall and like muscular, and he comes out looking like Goldberg, and he actually speared Jericho, and then Jericho beat the crap out of him, and made him tap to the walls of Jericho. But I literally laughed my ass off because there were so many people. I mean, the crowd just exploded for Goldberg, and then that little guy came out, and people were like, "What?" And I literally laughed so loud, like people were turning around. People were turning around looking at me, and I'm just like, you idiots.
They've been showing a lot of Fall Brawls on the network lately, so I think I might go back and check that out.
Yeah. So Gilbert, of course, was the WWF version of Goldberg. So
I remember when he came out with a sparkler and choked on the fumes. That was hysterical. I couldn't believe that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who else is going to be there, Zeus? Come on, baby, run it down.
Alicia Atout, who does a lot of interviews and things. She's the one that interviewed Thunder Rosa last year, who talked about my artwork. That was really nice. She's going to be back.
Cool.
NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis in action. As we said, you know, he's going to be in a 6-man tag during the WrestleCade pay-per-view, and then at the day after, he's going to face Nick Papadon, who was an AML champion for a very long time for the NWA World Title. So we will get to see at least one NWA World Title match this year, which is nice. Chris Statlander is going to face Sue Young at Queens of Combat, the women's card on Sunday. And then, okay, so I have to make an apology here. So it is once again the Sunday women's show is Queens of Combat. Now, I had mistakenly told you guys it was going to be under a different name.
Right. Yes, you did.
Okay. Now what that is there was a sponsor, one of the sponsors for WrestleCade this year is called BLOW, the Beautiful Ladies Oil Wrestling.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to have a booth at the WrestleCade or
what.
What do they do at this booth if they?
I'm sure they're not going to be doing any non-WrestleCade type things because it is a family show. So I think they might be giving out some flyers maybe or something. I don't know, but it all sounds rather sketchy. But as I said,
we're going to pay a small fee and go and do some oil wrestling? Like what?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, especially with the way wrestling fans are.
I'm going to end up like Blue from old school.
But Chris Statlander versus Su Yung, that's going to be a good match.
Yeah, that should be good.
And then I believe also at Queens of Combat, I believe Tessa Blanchard is the current Queens of Combat champion. And
so she's pulling double duty too then.
Yeah, and she is going to face Diamante.
Oh, wow.
No, Diamante is the champion. I take that back. Diamante is the Queens of Combat champion, and she will be wrestling Tessa Blanchard on Sunday.
Cool. Look at that. So it's good. It's a stacked weekend. Lots of wrestling going on.
Yeah. Like
that's
we
not
said,
even talking about the World Class Retrospective too.
World Class Retrospective is going to be amazing. They just added Bobby Fulton of the Fantastics, who spent a good year there. I think the Fantastics were the World Class Tag Team American Tag Team Champions at least one time, right?
Yep. And the Freebirds are going to be there, right?
The Freebirds will both be there. Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin, along with Miranda Gordy, the daughter of
Bam Bam,
Big Terry Gordy, Bam Bam. Let's see if I can pull up that guest list right there.
That sounds like, it's going to be a great time, man. It's going to be a great time. I'm sure all the fans are going to mark out. I'm sure we'll be taking pictures and just, I'm sure we're going to be chatting up everybody. And then we're going to do next week's show is going to be live from WrestleCade.
That's right.
That's going to be hot.
Yeah, next week will be interesting.
Who knows? You might get it captured live on camera. Me bitching out Enzo.
Oh, yeah.
It's called World Class Memories Back to the Sportatorium. Baby Doll's going to be there representing herself from when she was Andrea the Lady Giant, running around with Snake Roberts, running around with when she was the valet for Gino Hernandez. And that Gino Hernandez, who got her into the wrestling into the wrestling business. She was like, she just adored Gino, and she wanted to be his valet.
Yeah, we got Sherry in the chat. What's up, Dad?
Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind.
Sing it, Pedro.
Speaking of dust, there is also the Dustin Rhodes his kind of storytelling panel is going to be that Friday night.
There's going to be just it's like a pool of information. It's going to be like, we're going to be sponges soaking everything in. It's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah. And that's, I don't even know if I mentioned that there's also there's a thing on Sunday, I think, that's Hacksaw Jim Duggan and and Jake Roberts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's like 1988 Survivor Series all over again.
Right?
Man. That's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be a lot of people and stuff like that. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so like I have to pinch myself because like I'm gonna meet the Great Muta. You know,
I know, dude. I mean,
that's like amazing. You know,
it's like it's something that I'd given up on. I'd given up on you know, because every time I wasn't the only one because but you know, Tracy from WrestleCade was like, you know, that damn, you know, that plane ticket's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, to bring Great Muta here. And so, you know, it's amazing that it happened. And I told him, I'm like, you gotta try it, you gotta do it. And you know, and every time that they would run a post where it's like, you know, who do you want to see at, you know, WrestleCade next year? I mean,
man, it's gotta be
there's always a lot of people saying Great Muta. Here we go.
I do not.
Yeah. Some of the it's called, you know, World Class Memories Back to the Sportatorium. Bobby Fulton of the Fantastics, former World Class World Champion Al Perez, Wild Bill Irwin.
Wow, that's old school.
Baby Doll, Eric Embry, Johnny Mantell, Iceman King Parsons.
So when he still got the beach in his head.
We'll see. Black Bart, Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. I don't know if Michael Hayes is going to be at that one or not, but I mean, still, that's quite a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Now, Zeus. Now, here's the big question. Any news on Kevin?
I haven't heard anything yet. So if he's coming and it's an 11th hour type of thing,
because that would make that would headline the whole thing if he shows up.
Yeah. But of course, you know, it's all about Kevin's health and.
Yeah, well, I know about that, so yeah.
Yeah, you do. You know, and he's traveling. He's traveling. You know, he would be traveling from Hawaii.
That's a long flight, man.
And that's got to be, you know, especially right around Thanksgiving. It's going to be, you know, busy, crazy. You know, and it's always great, you know, to see. You know, it's not like Winston-Salem, North Carolina, is known to be a huge city. It's not like Houston, Texas. It's not like Orlando, Florida, you know. But the way the population in North Carolina is set up, I mean, Winston-Salem is part of the Piedmont Triad, which is, you know, nearly 2 million people in the Triad area alone, and Winston-Salem is only like, you know, 90 minutes from Raleigh-Durham. And there's another 2 or 3 million people there. Right. Winston-Salem is only 90 minutes from Charlotte, and there's another 2 or 3 million people there. And it's only about, it's only about 3 hours from Asheville, and that's another million so people up that way. So there's a huge amount of reach just in the state alone, but it's great to see that. You know, we're right here in the heart of, you know, the NWA and the huge growth, you know, of wrestling from the 80s. And we, you know, the guys from WrestleCade have built this, you know, this Thanksgiving tradition back up, you know, for wrestling. And of course, I believe they said this year the WWE Starcade is, I think that's happening in Chicago. And title match, I think it's called Title Match Wrestling.
Okay.
Title Match Wrestling is going to be doing the pay-per-view this year. It's not going to be on Fight TV.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So they are going to be the ones streaming the Saturday night show, and I'm clicking on it right now to see if we can find a price for it.
So I got a DVR that get it, so I can watch it live, and then can come home and I can watch it on TV afterwards. That's awesome.
That's right. Let's see.
Oh,
WrestleCade Super Show.
You can get a 2-week free trial at Title Match Wrestling Network.
Really?
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so to purchase the event is only $14.99 this year. Wow,
look at that.
That's like half what they were. Oh, and you can rent it. Well, you can watch it with the 2-week free trial. You can rent it for $9.99 or buy it for $14.99.
Wow.
Look at that, man.
Really?
These prices are insane. Come on, man. How can you beat that?
You can't beat that.
No, you can't.
I know title matches, they've been around for a number of years, and so look at that. They're gonna do Showcase of Champions as well.
I hope. I just hope that Kevin makes it, because I know he has health issues, and because I could definitely relate to that, and I know it's an extremely long flight from Hawaii to North Carolina, because I'm just flying from Orlando, and I picked up 9,000 pills yesterday and syringes, so I'm ready to go. And that's just an hour-and-a-half flight, so I can imagine what he's got to go through.
Man,
So
they got so much stuff on this Title Match Network.
They do have, and they've got a lot of older. They've got Showcase of Champions from 2017.
Okay.
And that was that crazy match that had J.J. Dillon was completely flabbergasted after the show. It was so good. Andrew Everett versus Jason Kincaid versus Chet Sterling versus Ray Phoenix. That was just nuts.
Oh, they should have that high release match then, right?
Yeah, that would be from the 2017.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Super Show. Okay. TAYA-Cade, baby.
That's right.
TAYA-Cade.
I tell you that match last year was so crazy with her and Penelope Ford, and I mean they went at it in the crowd, all over the ring. They went through tables. There was no Botchamania. I am the table for those two ladies. They beat the hell and they went through the tables. Nice. So if you can watch that match, and I can post the very last about 20 seconds or so of the way the match ended. I'll post that on my Twitter for anybody who missed it. The last 3 or 4 times I posted it. But
yeah, man, it's going to be a big weekend.
They really each other. And chops. I mean, it was like Ric Flair against Wahoo McDaniel, the way they were chopping each other.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah. I mean, I just pow, pow, pow. I mean, just slapping, chopping. They were definitely not buddies, for sure. It was not Dean Malenko against Eddie Guerrero from ECW. It was not a friendly type of match.
Mm.
So I'm definitely gonna bookmark this page.
I gotta check that out. That sounds good. Title match
Network.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going around wrestling this week, boys. A lot of stuff went down this week, huh?
Oh my God. This has been a very eventful week in wrestling. What do you want to start with, James?
Well, first of all, We got a big NXT pay-per-view tonight. We have War Games, so that should be good. And then we got Survivor Series tomorrow, which will be meh, but I'm sure War Games will be good tonight.
I will say, I guess because we've kind of watched the last 2 or 3 weeks. The WWE has done a pretty decent job of building up to this Survivor Series. The biggest problem with it though is it doesn't really make sense that Survivor Series comes around and they're like, oh, we all hate each other, like the brands all hate each other.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, they're like, oh, we're back to just appearing all the time in each other's stuff, no problem.
It actually made me watch Raw and SmackDown only because I wanted to see if NXT would show up.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. All 3 of us watched NXT last week, and we thought it was a pretty good show. It was okay. It was all right. It wasn't bad. It was good.
This week?
Yeah.
I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown, but I did watch NXT this week.
That tag team match was good with Bobby Riley and that was actually a good match. That was a good match.
The guys they faced, that was the Undisputed Era guys.
Yep.
They used to be Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. What's the tag team they used to be in Ring of Honor in New Japan?
Yeah, there was something else.
Red Dragon or something like that.
That was actually good stuff.
That was a pretty good match. I think that match should have ended about 3 to 5 minutes before it did.
Yeah, it had like 4 segments? That thing was long.
There was we were all 3 of us like chatting during the show. And there was one spot that felt like the natural finish, right, Zeus?
Yeah.
There was a spot, it felt like the natural finish. It would have been the Revival winning, but it felt like the natural finish. But then when the match was over, I kind of understood why they didn't go with that, because they have to put over the Undisputed Era for the match against the other tag team champions. It's right,
and that's fine, but they should have just had it end differently.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, it should have just ended differently. But that, that the Revival hit their finisher, and so I'm pretty. That's the first time I've sat and watched a Revival match that was good. They've had some really crappy ones over the last couple of years on Raw and or SmackDown. I don't know.
Ever since they went to the main roster, all their matches have been crap. Trust me.
Well, I mean, it's just like Pedro was saying. Who do they have to work with? This is why that's why it was so good in NXT, is because the NXT people actually they also kind of have that mix of new school and old school, better wrestling matches than they do on Raw and SmackDown.
The thing I was saying about the Revival, the big thing seems to everyone believes they're going to go to AEW.
Yeah.
Everyone is like convinced for, whatever reason that they think they're going to AEW when their contract's over. My deal was like, if they go to AEW, how are they going to have a match like this there? Because the teams in AEW are like predominantly spot fest heavy teams.
They're all high flying.
And so
unless they're going to let them be that team that comes in kind of like Tully and Arn and ground these guys, But
that's the way to go. But I don't know if they're going to. You think they can pull that off?
It would just be a big shock to the system. Not to mention, I don't know if AEW is going to be able to throw the amount of money at them that WWF is going to be willing to pay the Revival to stay.
Yeah,
true. That's true.
And before people tell me for the 100th time, The Khans have more money than the McMahons. Yes, they do. But we don't know what they're paying the wrestlers. I mean, we know that the 5 or 6 main people are getting, paid out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that there's more people that are getting paid, but they are also looking at it as a business, and the amount of time that they have on TV and pay-per-view, they can't just keep, building up a roster if they don't have more time to show these people.
Exactly.
So
and unfortunately, WWE is everywhere, so they're always on.
Well, and the Khans have a ton of money, right? But the money is not all for this wrestling thing.
Exactly.
Like a tiny portion of their fortune is going to this thing. They got all these ventures. They have like a gazillion different business ventures going on.
Yeah.
It's not all going into this thing. So
yeah, it's not like Ted Turner. It's not like Ted Turner, who was willing to put, whatever into it.
Yeah.
Because Ted loved wrestling. He loved wrestling, and he couldn't stand Vince, and he was willing to go to war. And, but it still didn't, even with Ted being the billionaire behind it all, it doesn't mean that's the recipe for success. Also the revival is got to be looking at it like, okay, well, Anderson and Gallows passed on it already.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew that Anderson and Gallows were leaving AEW. Everybody said it. They're gone. They're heading. They're going to go to AEW, and then as soon as their contract's over, because they're making them do this stupid Botchamania WWE version crap, and they're not happy, and blah blah blah. And I bet you they're making a shit ton of money now, and they get to run around with their buddy AJ Styles, and they look like they're having a blast. Now, you got to thank AEW for being there. It's good for them to be there, because you're making other wrestlers rich as well. And it's just like, there was some speculation. A lot of people thought that Randy Orton was going to leave, and I was like, there's no way in hell Randy Orton's leaving.
No.
I didn't think that. I thought there was a very low chance of that happening. And of course he stayed. But what a lot of people says, he did kind of play that, I could go to AEW and make a shit ton of money. And, probably it boosted his contract to stay. So good for him.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of AEW, has any of you guys seen their shows lately or no?
No.
I've become less and less interested in it.
This week I didn't watch any. I decided to watch NXT instead because
yes, why AEW.
A certain South African wasn't on there this week, so I watched NXT.
PJ Black. PJ Black
is on the AEW?
Yeah. PJ Black wasn't there this week, so I was like, I'm gonna watch NXT.
PJ Black is my favorite South African wrestler.
Oh
no!
There's heat coming for that, Zeus.
Oh shit!
There it is.
Worldwide Underground.
Send angry messages to Zeus King Dark.
Yeah, you can find him on Twitter. There it is.
Oh, hey, I'll tell you some wrestling news that just happened like today, but in Japan, so it's like overnight. In Stardom, Andres Miyagi turned on her partners, and they lost the trios titles.
What?
Quest. Yeah, they've been building up to it through the tag league. So,
oh my gosh,
because there's in the tag league, Kagetsu and Miyagi were teamed together, and there was 2 incidents where Andres holds someone and Kagetsu went to hit them with something, the person moved out of the way, and she hit her partner. And then there was an incident where the reverse happened, and then there was an incident where the reverse was going to happen again, but like Andra stopped in time, and then she went for it anyways, and Kagetsu moved out of the way. And they argued, and now they have this match, and apparently Andra's beat up or attacked both Kagetsu and Natsu, and I think Aziem ended up making Natsu tap out. So, so yeah.
Hey Pedro.
Yes.
Did something happen to your favorite girl this week? Did it ask like she's no longer employed?
Are we talking about Kelly Klein?
That's your chick right there, right, Pedro? I know you love her.
No.
Love her.
Oh my God.
What exactly happened with her?
Well, y'all know as well as me. So, but what she? My understanding is
she suffered a concussion for one thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And earlier this month, Joey Mercury and Ring of Honor parted ways. Right.
Right.
Okay, this is important for what happened. So Joey Mercury and Ring of Honor parted ways, and on his way out, Joey Mercury had a lot to say about what conditions were like at Ring of Honor. They've been, according to him, having no security, no medical staff, no this and that, no transportation at times. It's been like this crazy situation. When they were in England recently, was it Jay Lethal who broke his arm or something?
Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah,
and
I think it was Jay Lethal. Yeah,
and there was like no one to take care of it there. They had to, just like they had to arrange their own thing to get him to the hospital. And
wow.
I think Flip Garden, there's a deal earlier this year where he dislocated a shoulder or something, and again, no medical staff on hand, and the wrestlers were all trying to, put it back in place.
That's not a good look.
So yeah, Joey Mercury, aired this stuff, and Kelly Klein backed up what he said.
And she's the current Ring of Honor Women's Champion, right?
Yes. And so that happened earlier in the month, and then this week, her husband said that she was fired, and Joey Mercury said, follow that, and then someone, I don't remember who it was, released the email. She's not technically fired. What they said was that she caused damage to the company, and that they had the grounds to fire her, but they were going to keep her, she could see out the rest of her contract, and they would not renew her contract at the end.
Oh, okay. It's not gonna be like a Mike Awesome situation where she just come in, job the title, and leave, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she couldn't do it anyways now because she's
concussed.
Yeah, she's concussed. Yeah.
Ooh. Actually, speaking of concussed, our boy Jim Cornette, huh? Look at that. NWA Power this week was good.
NWA Power was very fun episode, but
my new favorite wrestler, the question mark. I mark out so hard for him. He's awesome. The crowd loves him.
That's crazy how over he got.
He is so over. It's ridiculous.
I mean, this is the second appearance of him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And think about this. The first episode he appeared on, the last episode, he made one appearance. And by the time Eli Drake was doing that promo, the crowd, and Eli Drake said, was trying to build up to, who do you want to challenge for the title? And the crowd went, question mark. In his first episode of his appearance. And now in the second episode is all question mark. They love him. Yeah, like y'all said. They love him.
The only wrestler I've seen who wears tights that aren't tight. That's hysterical. I love it.
Those
He's
are
a-
1980
he's a hot-
tights.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's a hot.
I mean,
mess in that
somebody
ring.
went back in time. Somebody got Doc Brown's DeLorean, and they went back and they found him 1980s tights because they're just
Brutal.
And yeah, there was a match on there between Trevor Murdoch and Nick Aldis, right?
I've been marking out for Trevor Murdoch too. I love him. But yeah, there was a match. It was the opening match, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
And during the match, commentator Jim Cornette said something, and some stuff happened from it.
Yeah. Now, I don't think we need to get into the comment or if it was perceived or not perceived as being racism or not.
No.
But actually, here's my issue. That show's been in the can for what, like how long? 8 weeks, 9 weeks already? Right?
I think they said 6 or 7 weeks or
Okay.
something. I don't know how long.
You mean to tell me that nobody edited that show and didn't catch that?
Well,
It was
like
like
you said, it's an old Cornette joke.
Right.
Well, okay, it's an old Cornette joke that he's used multiple times. We all understand this, but
It's not a good one, and it's not gonna fly with people in 2019.
okay. This is the point. If you are editing this episode and you hear this, if you catch it, okay. I mean, here's the thing: we don't know how big the staff is that is working on these episodes, right?
Right.
We don't know if it's just 1 or 2 people or whatever. So the smaller the staff, the more likely stuff can slip by, right?
Right.
Because I mean, we watched the episode and I don't recall any of us picking up on it. Like
I remember when he said it, but I didn't lay weight into it. I just I just did a little. Yeah, it's nothing it's not like he hasn't said before. So.
Well, but someone in editing should have picked up on it.
Oh, absolutely. Now, here's my point, though. Now, because of this, NWA Power's been getting a lot of rub off of this. Okay, it's generated a lot of buzz. My next question: Do you think it was purposely slipped? Like
No.
it was purposely left in the can?
No, if they didn't want him there, they would have said, "Hey, this isn't working."
Right.
You know, I think that's a reach.
Okay, yeah, because I've heard that too. I've heard that say, now, like NWA Power generate all this buzz.
I don't think the buzz that's been generated is the kind of buzz people want to be generated for their show.
Well,
I agree.
But ever since they announced that Cornette was going to be part of it, there's been a lot of people that have just said, "I'm never going to watch as long as he's a part of it." And he's got like a legion of fanatics, and he's got
diehards,
and he's got a legion of haters.
Oh yeah.
And so basically that's what all this boils down to is, that's what, that's how it came out.
Okay, but dig this, sucker.
Sucker.
Yeah, sucker. Cornette's gone.
Right.
He is. The official statement is he has resigned. Though semantics is whatever. It was a situation where it's like, oh, you got to go, basically, right? But he's gone, and the crowd that we're alluding to still is finding things against the show. Been talk about a date rape segment.
Now, wait a minute. Yeah. Before you sensationalize something, Pedro. I mean, come on. That's they're talking about the kayfabe cocktail thing.
No, Zeus, I know it's ridiculous to call that segment.
Okay, but don't present it in a ridiculous way.
I'm presenting it in this way because this is to point out that the people who claim they're only going after one person are still going after the whole thing.
And that's in the obvious. Okay, so for that, yeah.
Do we really have to get into that? Because I don't think that was. It means it's. I mean, is it possible that the NWA Power has some genuine haters out there? Yeah, sure. And they're looking for anything. Yeah, sure.
But
and the
before we
kayfabe cocktail, I get. Okay, but come on.
Before we thought it was just because the one person was on there.
Right. No, right. Well, that started when he was announced. Everybody was bitching when he was announced as commentator.
Right, and then he's hurt a lot of people's feelings, which is, that's just that's what he does. I mean, he says what he says, and whether it's nice or not, I mean that's pretty much what he does. So there's a lot, and it's also funny too because the amount of people who go after Cornette, that still watch WWE every week. And, are literally watching a show that is funded in a large part nowadays from the Saudi Arabia deal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole other bag of marbles.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is like these people who, where I see people who are WWE fans who hate Cornette. Oh, Cornette's the worst thing in wrestling. It's like, dude, Vince, went through with all this stuff after a dude got his head cut off.
He's taking blood money from
the government of Saudi Arabia. Chopped off this fucking dude's head. They cut his head off. It ain't attached to his body no more. And they wanted WWE to go on because they wanted to help cover this up with another story, with something feel good, with this cultural exchange. It's like, Jesus fucking, they chopped the motherfucker's head off.
There it is.
I mean, Vince McMahon is helping to gloss over this incredibly obvious and blatant murder that went on in Saudi Arabia. And the people there, they still threw a water bottle. Somebody threw a water bottle at Lacey Evans. Somebody threw a water bottle at Natalya.
At Natalya, that's right. Yeah, they both handled it well, though. I gotta give them credit
because there's still a lot of misogynistic bastards in that country.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. I mean, once again,
all of us are not watching NWA Power for Cornette anyway, right?
Well, I mean, he's a small part. I mean, he's really good on the mic, but sometimes his brain works faster than his mouth works faster than his brain, and he spits out this old joke, and that's what happened, and it's over, and there's no going back. There's no fixing it. Yep. And I don't even think if from what I heard Cornette say, that he wouldn't, he wouldn't go back there for, all the money in the world right now. So, I mean, that's a closed door. So, people have been speculating who might be on there for the next set of tapings for commentary,
and the pay-per-view.
And the pay-per-view,
yeah, pay-per-view, and that's the next thing that's coming. So,
do y'all have any idea who would y'all put in?
Mike
Tenay.
You know
who I would like to see? Mike Tenay. You know what, Zeus? I think that's a good call.
If he's not doing anything, Mike Tenay.
If he's up to it, at least one time for the pay-per-view, if he's up to it.
Well, I mean, I think it's worth giving him a shot to, because the TV tapings and the TV tapings and the pay-per-view are all on the same weekend.
Right.
So, I mean, it's almost it's almost like a second season. In respect to that. Also like to point out about NWA Power. They do run the credits. They do run credits at the end. And I don't know if you guys ever remember, our wonderful buddies from the MMM show used to say that, Lucha Underground would do that, would, put the credits of the people who worked on the show at the end. And that's, that would put them into, TV award consideration. And that's what's kept WWE programming out of, nighttime TV award shows, is the fact that they never, put who their producers, camera people, and whatnot are at the end of the show.
So. The thing about NWA Power, it's fun. It's the most fun I've seen, actually, since Lucha Underground Season 3. Right? Yeah. It's the most fun. Okay? I think all of us enjoy, I mean, that crowd is awesome. I mean, come on, man. How you not like
Tennessee Santa Claus?
Come on, man. Tennessee Santa's awesome. I mean, come on, man. He was going back with Stevens. That's classic stuff right there. That's old school,
That little kid.
Yeah, that little kid. And if I see that guy with that NWA belt on TV one more time, I'm gonna jump on my TV and take it from him. Okay, Jesus.
Oh, hey, speaking about belts, with the belt last night, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh God!
What did you call it, Zeus? It was the AEW version. What was it?
It's the AEW child toy version.
The Intercontinental Champion. It's funny how they changed it. Where a little bit of interesting trivia for you guys. You know who introduced the white IC belt, right? It was Cody Rhodes.
The current one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the newly retired one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's actually Cody Rhodes, so I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. It's like a little dig.
I think the first person I saw do the white strap on that was the Warrior, right?
No. Nope, it was Cody Rhodes. He did the white strap on the heavyweight championship, and then he did the white.
He did a yellow strap on the Intercontinental title.
I think those
and the ugly blue.
He did yellow and orange,
and a shitty blue color too.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But I know at like WrestleMania 6, he has like the yellow. He has like a yellow strap on the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
But the white strap was introduced by Cody Rhodes, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a classic design. I don't think the new belt looks bad. I don't think it looks good either. It's all right, I have to get used to it.
Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, that's a similar design. Yeah. And I mean, people just jump my shit and they're like, no, it literally looks nothing like it. I'm like, no, literally, it does.
It does.
Because the center plate is an oval. It's not a circle. It's not a square. It's an oval shape. So is the basic shape of the AEW title. The center of the AEW title is a diamond with
that was based off the old Mid-South title too, right? So there you go.
Yeah, and it's got an extension. It's got instead of two separate side plates for the center plate, it's just got an extended center plate, but instead of two circles on it, it's got two. It's got one globe on each side.
Yeah, if you took the AEW title belt and you had all those fragmented pieces come together, then you have then you get the
it's very similar.
Yeah.
Oh no, Zeus, I totally agree with you. So I was arguing with you. I think they're wrong. I think you're totally right. It looks a lot like the AEW strap. It's very reminiscent of it.
Yeah.
And and I mean, like you said, it does look like those old kid version of title belts and stuff. Is what it looks like.
And now here's the thing. We don't know how long ago this design was made.
True.
It could have been it could have been made. The design could have been approved and sent to the belt maker before the AEW belt was debuted.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's probably what happened. And if you think about it, it's this might even be a tribute to two things. Of course, the original Mid-South North American title, you know, was that great big belt, and then also the AML title, which is made as a tribute to the Mid-South North American title. It's been floating around.
The AML title looks like the Mid-South belt.
Yeah, and Tracy Myers and everybody from AML, make no bones about it. That AML title is supposed to be, you know, a big, beautiful tribute to the Mid-South belt. So
all these new belts, even Bray Wyatt has a new belt now.
Yeah, it's like a blue strap now, right?
Yeah, it's like that ugly blue.
You know when Bray Wyatt, they did the Fiend thing for a little bit last night, and I can't get out of my head. I don't know if it was Zeus, if you were the one who said it, but every time I see the Fiend now, I just think of Psycho Clown.
Psycho.
I'm like, it's just WWE.
Do you think that's a rip-off of him? I mean, it could be a rip-off or like a half-ass homage. You know?
Yeah. Doubt it.
So you know what I see all these guys doing all these crazy clown gimmicks. I'm gonna do one too. You know.
Okay, so just looking through some images of Ultimate Warrior back in the day.
Yeah.
He wore a white strap on the heavyweight title. He wore of course, a black strap. Also on the heavyweight title had the Carolina blue. And then I think I saw
and he had a yellow
lavender on the heavyweight title.
Lavender. Ooh.
Yeah.
Did Slaughter hold that one?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. I think it was the one he had when he lost it to Slaughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Lavender, yellow, and I think I saw orange somewhere.
Oh.
But I mean, it was, you know, it really went along with his entire colorful persona and face paints, and you know, I mean, it you know, it was very 90s.
Yeah.
Very late 80s, early 90s.
I have it's hard for me to talk about Ultimate Warrior because I don't like speaking ill of the dead, but you know, like a lot of people said it was his favorite wrestler of all time. He was the best that ever did it. I think his character was amazing. I think his ring work was total shit. And I get a lot of people saying that. You know, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, have you ever seen the match? He was blown up before he got in the ring.
Hey, I just wanted to point something out right now. I was looking at this because I remembered something, but I wasn't sure. But Shawn Michaels actually had a white strap Intercontinental title belt.
He did? Okay.
Yeah, and he also had like some weird light blue strap Intercontinental title belt too.
The current design?
The classic design, yeah.
Okay. Classic. Okay. My bad. I apologize, guys.
Yeah, the black, the white, and this like sky blue.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that all sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Cody Rhodes who reintroduced it then. I could be
I think when he brought it, I think when Cody Rhodes brought it back, it was the white
one, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but see, I knew someone did the white strap before that.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was Warrior, but it wasn't. It was Shawn Michaels. So.
I mean, we are talking, you know, that was, you know, what, 91, 92, 93, something like that?
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of beers ago.
Yeah, a lot of beers to go. Any other news bits to talk about before?
Let's see. I'll be watching NXT tonight. That should be good. So Survivor Series, but I'll watch it anyway. And the way Power was good. Actually, I'm looking forward to that pay-per-view as well.
Impact is still streaming on Twitch as well, so you don't have to.
Impact. You know what? You know what? I may have to eat a little crow.
Tessa beat Brian Cage in a singles match.
Oh
I
wow.
saw that. I saw that. I'm gonna have to start watching Impact. I swear I would never watch again, but Impact has greatly improved, and I give them all the credit in the world. And on the opposite side of that, fucking Ring of Honor has become a shitstorm. So as one rises, the other falls. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the whole thing. Is I don't wish bad things on other
No,
people,
of
other
course not.
companies, but I mean, if you're not making me happy, I'm just not going to watch it.
Right. That's
I
right.
mean,
Everybody makes a big deal about the ratings too, Zeus. Like AEW versus NXT, but it's just like you said. If you're not making me happy, I'm not going to watch it. So I don't care
right.
about the ratings. If it's good, I'll watch it. If it's not good, that's it. Eat one.
And people talked about the ratings this week because this is the first week that NXT beat AEW,
Right.
but once again, I mean, it was so close, and it's been
It's,
a
right.
lot of the like the last few weeks have been close anyway. It's all from extrapolation, the way that they come up with those numbers.
Exactly.
It's not an exact science. It's not like they're draining. It's not like they're able to plug into everybody's cable box and see what they're watching. It's based on certain samples and things. And
you were saying about that, right, Pedro? You was talking about all that stuff, right?
Well, I saw people talking about it. The AEW won the demographic. NXT won the total viewership. And people
that's what I was thinking.
Arguing about what XYZ meant, but like Zeus is saying, there was only like what 20-something thousand.
Yeah, it's
really close. Either way, I mean,
it's phenomenal. It's yeah.
I mean,
I'm with Zeus. I'm with Zeus. If I don't like it, I'm not watching.
I mean, a good war is two evenly matched foes.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like you were saying about the TV viewing, it's a ridiculous thing because we don't gauge it, accurately anyways. And because they put so much into one specific demographic, you have a situation where like AEW finishes in 8th place with like, what was it? 800 and something thousand viewers according to this metric, right? And number 40, the 42nd rated show is Property Brothers, some reality TV show, right?
I actually like that show, but go ahead.
That show in total viewers was like 1.17 million according to this metric. So it has like in total viewers more than either wrestling show we're talking about in this metric.
And there's so many different variables too, because like how many cable boxes is that channel actually on throughout America? Like how many different packages? Like I may get it, but you not. Like it's like Zeus doesn't get access to like although we do.
Right.
And then I remember Zeus was watching Impact and I couldn't. So it was just it's so. I mean, like the variables are so disparate. It's like too much.
And people consume media differently now, so it's
right. Exactly.
According to the Nielsen ratings, like the Democrat debate on Wednesday was like the number one rated deal with like 6.6 million viewers. And I was thinking, like, back in the day, both WWF and WCW had higher numbers than that if you combined it.
Yeah, in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, in the 90s. And you're like, so that this is just a thing that shows TV viewing in general is like much smaller than it used to be.
I wonder how they take into account DVRs and like all digital streaming and YouTube and all that stuff. It's like weird,
Well, you would think that the cable systems, I mean, it's like I said, earlier, it's like I posted a picture of Randy Savage on Twitter, and then my YouTube is giving me a damn video of Randy Savage Slim Jim commercials. So you think that there would be an easier way to track all this stuff? I mean, they know what they know what you get on pay-per-view and things, but you would think that they would be able to have that information.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, okay, well, so and so was watching this for this long. You know, I mean, it would take longer to pull the numbers, you would think, but you know, longer than a day.
Yeah. It's fascinating if you really think about it, you know, because like if you really break everything down, like actually how they can do it, you know, it's you know,
yeah, and
it's fascinating.
But the whole thing is like, you know, it just doesn't matter as much. The what matters most is that we have you know, pretty much somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5 to 2 million people watching wrestling on Wednesday nights.
That's an amazing thing in my book.
In addition to watching wrestling on Tuesday night, and on Monday night, and on Friday night, and you know, it's just there's so much wrestling out there that it's actually, you know, doing well. But the fact that
then you get Impact, and then you get Access, and then you get all this stuff. So yeah, it's a win-win, I think.
And the fact that Ring of Honor are paying their women $150 or less to be in a show.
Yeah, that's a little brutal. I saw that last night after you posted it. I was like, what? I was like, is that right? That's not right, right? That can't be right. I mean that's almost barbaric.
I mean, if you think about it, you've got to invest at least one entire 24-hour period into a wrestling show. Between travel there, you know, getting there to the show, getting ready, gearing up, upkeep of your gear, and possible
any medical that's needed.
Right. Not to mention food, travel expense, and everything else. $150 for a day is not a lot of money.
Yeah, $150 for a few hours is not a lot of money. Let me tell you. Okay, but that's almost barbaric, you know.
It's crazy.
No. I mean, how do you expect people to make a living, especially if they're holding on to their medical and shit like that? That's like weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, ambulances backstage, people getting hurt, and you know, that's no.
Oh yeah,
that's insanity. Woo, that's insanity.
But speaking of insanity, next week you're just 1 week away, less than a week away.
TAYA-Cade, a WRESTLECADE.
We're
going to be live.
We're 6 days away from when it starts.
Yep, live. We're going to be broadcasting live from WRESTLECADE. Zeus is going to be on one side,
interrupting the show.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm ready to do tricks like this. See, like James, Zeus.
James. All three now. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure we'll try to find some guests to get on because I'm sure you know, Zeus is a major celebrity in North Carolina now. You know, so you know. I'm sure there'll be dozens of people like wanting to talk with him. So
right, we also
keep a velvet rope between them. You know.
I want to throw out there for anyone we might be on like an hour later or so.
It's possible. Yeah, it all depends how everything goes and stuff.
Yeah, we'll let everybody know beforehand, but
yeah,
keep your eye on our Twitters, our tweet.
Yeah. But all three of us will be on for the hour, if not more. Who knows? I mean, who knows what could happen? You might see an impromptu matchup between Enzo and James. You never know. And Zeus Dark King does the running. I mean, you never know. Anything you might even see. You might even see two gyms sharing a beer. You never know. You never know. Shit can happen live at WrestleCade.
That's right.
You know? I finally get vindication after a full year of waiting for this. You know, after last year being stuck in New York, I was pissed. But now, finally,
it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, next week, WrestleCade.
Yes, sir.
TAYA-Cade, WrestleCade, Winston, Slamtown, North Carolina. We're looking forward to seeing all of you there. Over 7,700 tickets have been sold for the Saturday event. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be huge. We're gonna be hanging out at Hornswoggle. Zeus from WWF days, the Steiner brothers, the Dudleys, Sandman, Raven, Tommy Dreamer. It's just this massive who's who of the wrestling world. Pretty much almost anybody that you could imagine. From outside of the WWE universe.
Hey, I'll sign any waiver needed. I'll sign whatever you want me to sign. I'm willing to take a bump from Tommy Dreamer live, no problem.
Man, I now want to fantasy book Tiny Lister and Hornswoggle on the show. You're like, we got Zeus, Tiny Lister, we got Zeus and Zeus.
Zeus and Zeus. No
double Zeus. They do a tag team. Double Zeus.
I have come to think of him more as the president from Fifth Element.
Oh my God! Yeah,
over the years.
Yeah, true. But next week is going to be fun. Lots of people. I'm gonna get to see Zeus in his element. All the groupies asking for drawings. It should be fun.
It's going to be awesome. See y'all next week.
See you next week. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks to YY and thanks to Sherry for hanging on to chat. Later.
Yerp.